Hey everybody, and salam alaikum. So we're approaching Ramadan, and as we approach Ramadan, we try to give up our bad habits and we try to do more good deeds, and then we go into Ramadan and try to increase in our good deeds and stay away from all sin if possible. I want to remind people of one particular sin that is very easy to commit, but is a very, very big deal in the sight of Allah. It's the sin of backbiting. This is when we talk poorly about people behind their backs. We talk poorly about them when they're not there. It's a big deal because they're not there to defend themselves. They're not there to give their side of the story. You're just speaking bad about them while they're not even around. And they're not even able to say anything. So in the Quran, Allah says, he explains it in a parable where he says, would you eat the flesh of your dead brother? So he's equating backbiting to something so disgusting as eating the flesh of your dead brother, where he makes it so that you can see how evil and disgusting this sin really is. That's how much of a big deal this is to Allah, and that it should be that big of a deal to us. Like, he's rhetorically asking this question, that would you eat the flesh of your dead brother? Of course not. So why do you backbite? This is something that we need to stay away from, something that we definitely need to make sure we're not doing, especially during Ramadan. You know, it's so common amongst everyone today, really, but it's common in the Muslim community. You know, it's like, oh, brother, did you hear what this guy was doing? You know, I saw him at the masjid, but then I saw him at this one place the other day. Or, you know, oh, I heard that sister is doing this and this. You know, this is stuff that we really need to stay away from. You shouldn't talk bad about other people. Number one, you don't know what they're going through. You don't know why they're doing what they're doing. Number two, you know, you might be misjudging the situation. You might not be part of the situation. Number three, even if you are part of the situation, even if you were wronged by this person or something, it's not your right to speak poorly about them and give them a bad image in other people's minds. You know, it's very, very bad and evil in the sight of Allah. So we need to stay away from this. We need to make sure that we stay clean of this sin. It's just so easy to commit because, you know, we get to talking with our friends, and then, you know, it's so easy to just start talking about another person, and it becomes like entertainment in a way where we speak poorly about others. But we really shouldn't be doing that. We should be uplifting rather than dragging people down. You know, make excuses for your brother and your sister if they've done something wrong. You know, again, maybe you misjudged something that you saw. You didn't see it for what it actually was. So just like the story of Musa in the Quran, where he saw the man he was traveling with puncture a hole in a ship. And Musa was asking, like, why did you do that? Now they're going to lose the ship. And the man later explained that he did that because there's pirates that come along, or a king that comes along and seizes all the good ships that he sees. So the man damaged this one so that the other tyrant wouldn't end up seizing that ship. So we don't know what everybody's going through. So give them a pass, give them an excuse. You know, speak to that person in private, but don't speak badly about them when they're not in the room. That's something we really need to stay away from altogether. But as a reminder for this upcoming month of Ramadan, and may Allah accept all of our good deeds and all of our fasting, and make this Ramadan very blessed for us, and that we work up to Ramadan, we get even better during Ramadan, and Ramadan can be kind of like a training camp so that we come out on the other end a much better person, a much better Muslim, and that we continue carrying this on, inshallah, for the rest of our lives. One thing I like to do during Ramadan is make sure that there's one extra sin that I struggle to get rid of, that I give up that year. And I make sure that I stay away from that and don't go back to it. And that I pick up an extra good deed. So for a while, you know, I read the hadith where if you say subhanallahi wa bihamdi 100 times, Allah will erase the sins that you've committed, even if they were as much as like the foam of the ocean. So during Ramadan of 2022 or 2023, I started to say that 100 times a day. And I try to keep doing that as much as possible. So try to give up a bad deed and do a good deed. Increase the good that you're doing and decrease the bad that you're doing. And definitely stay away from backbiting. And definitely like, share, and subscribe to my channel. I appreciate you all. Much love and respect for you all. Until the next one, everybody. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Peace.